Hey, everybody. I decided to do some reactions. Let me view my channel. Go back to my data.
Deal with that.
Not you, clearly. But the zebra.
There we go. That's what I wanted to get into. So, this right here, the Houston dating market.
I said it, man. I said it. How many times do I have to?
Like, why is this bubble? Okay. I can't move this. I can't move my bubble. Like, we're gonna have to work on this cap cut. Like, we gotta work on that. Like, what the? I can't move it off the screen, guys. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take myself down, full screen.
Said about coming out here to Houston looking
Okay,
for a
this might work. Hold on, let's see. Nah,
relationship,
didn't
man.
work.
Guy posted something on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. He moved here about 3.5 years ago, man, because he wanted to come to Houston to connect with a female that he met through Instagram. She looked a
Caught HIV while dating in Houston, Texas, but I got called weird for asking on the first date. Sometimes you gotta ask on the first date, like y'all be asking first convo. What's your intentions? All right, let me see that. Let me see that my chart. Fuck.
good, standing behind a car, nice fitted outfit on, body was banging. Got here and found out that it wasn't what he thought it was. His story is that when he first met her through Instagram, that she claimed to be a nurse and going to school to
Mm.
own her own dentistry office or whatever. Get out here. A week after he moved out here, she claimed, I'm sorry, a week before she moved out here, she claimed that she lost her job, her car was getting repoed or had got repoed, and that's just not the crazy story. After they started dating for a while, he noticed that she started disappearing from home a lot, and then when she would come home, she would have all of her friends over, and he didn't have a job, so he didn't have medical insurance or anything like that. He started messing with her, and everything was good. About 3 weeks into the relationship of him moving out here to Houston, he ended up contracting something that caused him to burn when he was urinating.
Mm.
We know what that is. That's that big G. You guys don't know what the big G is? That stands for gonorrhea. So he's online crying about that she burned him. He caught gonorrhea. He swore he never cheated on her. He didn't know anybody out here. Now that's 3 weeks after he moved out here. Now, come to find out, he's online saying that he has HIV symptoms, guys. It's a
Dang.
sad story to see this man on here crying like this, but it's real, and this is why I say, coming out here to Houston, man, trying to date, man, you're going to end up catching something that not even a doctor can get rid of. Now, in the video, he did say that he's healthy, he's taking medication that's kind of keeping it under control a little bit, but he's heartbroken because he said that she knew that she had HIV and she should have told him. I think that that is a crime. That should be attempted, you know what, because when you
It should be, but you know the reality of it is a lot of women out here doing things for the pleasure. What? Not even the pleasure because they don't get no pleasure out of having sex no more. Sex. What they get pleasure out of is having a man with money. Sad to say, but this is the reality of it. You get things like this, and man, it just sucks that a lot of people got to deal.
You willingly know that you got a virus like that. You're supposed to tell partners,
You
people
are
that you're about
supposed
to
to do
engage
it.
with, especially if it's going to be something in
Long.
the bedroom. So now he has to live with this for the rest of his life.
Mm.
He also went on in the video to say because he contracted what he contracted, there was no need for him to leave her because nobody else would want him anyway. Because he would have to expose the fact.
Hey, get her locked up. See, that's why people be unaliving people because of this. And then you got these lames. I'ma just stay. What you mean you gonna stay? Either do something to her or I don't condone it. But when it comes to this, I ain't gonna lie. That's different. Get her locked up, bro. What you mean you gonna stay? Now you gonna if she don't stay, you basically thinking, well, what I'm gathering from this is that you just gonna give other people your virus. All because you got it from her. And if she don't stay, you probably won't even tell nobody.
Fact
Man.
that whoever he talks to that he is infected. So he is still with the lady, but this is the perfect example of what I was saying, guys. You cannot be coming out here to date if you're looking for a date. Come out here just to party. Now, I tell you this story
Be
not to talk
everybody
about
party.
women. That was just the story that I was giving you guys an example of. The men out here are just as worse as the women, man.
Yes.
Houston, if you look it up, the statistics is through the roof, man. The HIV rate
Yes.
just out here in
Freak.
Texas alone, mainly the Houston area, because the Houston area is where everybody migrates to because they feel like this is where all the men at who got money, the women who got the nice bodies and stuff like that. But it's not what you think, man. It's nasty out here. It's very nasty, guys. It is nasty. So I'm gonna say this. If you come out here and you plan on moving out here, bring your woman with you or meet you someone back home that you know of because Houston is not
I'm gonna tell you this. It's rare if you find somebody that you trust and ain't got nothing. Or that you can build with. Can't build with everybody just because you know them. Like, take for instance, I know this one young lady who slept with one of my one of my brothers, one of my cousins, and on the verge of fucking with messing with one of my other brothers. Like, if that, and then try to play one of them off as if like it wasn't nothing. The, my kinfolk was on them more. Like, regardless, you already slept with two people, so now you want to sleep with a third, and I should never hear you saying nobody at HOE ever.
the place to come and look for a date at, man. Like I said before, you're gonna
Oh,
either go broke out here, you're gonna be stressed out, and you're gonna get cheated on. I promise you. But it's a sad situation that this guy got HIV because he decided to come out here in Houston to date, man. Let me know in the comments what you think this guy should do. Should he stay with the woman?
I
Should he
already answered
left the
that.
woman? I mean, in my opinion, just in my opinion, I don't think it really matters whether he stayed with the woman or not. Nobody else is going to want him
I
unless
mean,
he
you
gets
gonna
with somebody who contracted the same.
why stay with somebody who gave you something? For one, you gonna think you gonna hold some type of resentment for that person. Like, that's like somebody broke your heart, cheated on you. In the back of your mind, you gonna be thinking like, is they cheating again, or should I stick around and be with them? I probably could do better and find something better. Well, that may not be the same comparison because that is a virus that you can't get rid of. I tried.
Thing he contracted. Thank you guys for watching.
Yeah, that's deep there.
How Gen X are getting their teenage
That's
bodies back.
This is my mom.
And this is my mom. Pretty much all of our friends think that we're sisters.
Same with
See.
If you flew to a city because of an Instagram DM and came home with a souvenir you didn't buy, that's not romance, that's paperwork. Let's talk about moving for love and moving into a clinic. Yo, real talk. I get why people chase a dream. New city, new energy, maybe someone who looks like a cover photo. But here's the messy chapter nobody reads. People aren't their filters. You can't swipe into someone's immune system. Imagine telling your mom, I moved to Houston for love. She asks, for how long? You say, apparently permanent? Cue the paperwork and the late night calls to the clinic.
Mm.
This isn't shame, it's sorrow. It's empathy for someone who packed their hope into a suitcase and ended up with lifelong medical news. That's heavy. And whatever you think about choices, the one thing we can insist on is honesty. If someone knows they're carrying something that can hurt another person, that's not a relationship issue. That's a responsibility issue.
Mm.
I'm about to have a real conversation with you all. Now, I know lately in the news, they expressed that Houston has a very, very high STD rate. And I'm going to tell you exactly why. People do not care about catching anything. People do not fear HIV. People do not fear syphilis, gonorrhea. People don't fear none of those things. People live life on the edge and they are pleasure chasing, meaning they don't care about the consequences. Long as they can feel good in the moment, that's it. That's all people chase, And I'm telling people the reality of it is people really, when it comes to sex, people don't care about protecting themselves. And
they don't. They're just thinking about that little pleasure they finna get in the moment, and that's it.
Listen to this. I'm a man. I hang around a lot of men. Had plenty of conversations.
You gonna think I'm playing when I say this. My mom and my girl, I threw them a surprise party, and I always do when it's a big event. I pack like little thank you bags for people or whatever, and it's usually I have condoms, makeup wipes, peppermints, some type of like theme keychain or whatever shot glass for the theme or whatever. But when I tell you, like, I'm not even being funny. Not one person in that party that's a heterosexual, straight male, whomever, whatever you into, nobody wanted the condoms. Like, I'm not even being funny. Like, I really felt that I could have kept my 200 and some odd dollars that I spent on the condoms because nobody wanted the condoms. Like, I'm not even being funny. Like, you literally I could have looked through the bag back then and showed you that they picked around certain things. Kept the liquid IVs, the peppermints. They said, y'all can keep them condoms. It's just crazy. Like, it's crazy.
With men. And men, we love to talk about women and stuff with each other, right? And over the years, I can tell you now, the things that I've seen men do and heard men do is crazy. I'm talking about people married, long relationships, and out here having unprotected sex with different people and coming back home like nothing happened. On top of that, not using protection. You got men who will fly out the country, have sex with foreign women unprotected, come back to their wife and girlfriend, sleep with them unprotected like nothing happened. Don't even go get tested. And let's talk about, there's a window in time when you need to get tested. If you have unprotected sex, don't go run to the doctor 2 weeks after that thinking that your results are going to be authentic. They're not. They're not going to be good results because you have to wait until whatever virus it is detectable. And some of y'all play games. Y'all know that stuff will not be detectable within a week or 2 weeks after unprotected sex, but you'll run and go get tested real quick. And be like, oh, I'm clean, bro. You ain't even give enough time to settle in your system. See, people do that too. But that's a whole nother conversation. But I'm telling you, these men nowadays, all you have to do is have a pretty face, nice
weak
body.
in the knees.
Matter of fact, you don't even have to have a pretty face. just a nice body, and the dude will hit you raw consistently and not even ask you about your stats.
Yes, this is why I
Man,
switched
probably
to
just
injection-free weight loss.
attracted to
I
it.
was eating healthy, working out every day.
I gotta get rid of the ads.
Imagine you find love in the workplace. You fall in love with
Ain't
a
no love
coworker.
there.
Y'all dating, going on concerts, going on different dates, seeing each other all the time. I mean, everything is amazing. And you decide now y'all want to be a little bit more intimate. You know what I'm saying? Y'all had did something before, but you were like, you know what? Let's do this the right way. Let's get tested. Let's make sure we're both good.
There's nothing
You
wrong
get your
with that.
results back and it's negative. You ask him what was his results. He tell you it's negative. Everything is going amazing until you started getting sick. Oh, you got stays in the hospital. You're losing weight. You lost almost 65 pounds. You go to the dentist and he tell you there's thrash all in your mouth, and that's not normal to have thrash in your mouth without there being an underlying condition. This last stay at the hospital, the doctor comes in there and he tells you, hey, I hate to be the one to tell you this, but you have AIDS. You've been infected. You're like, what? Because you're knowing that you and your partner has been tested. Ain't nowhere in hell you could have anything. But only to find out that this man here, Kareem, your co-worker, infected you. Not only did he infect you, he infected his wife that he had, that you knew nothing about. Now this man finds out that you have it, and you're pursuing a case against him because you come to find out his wife is infected, and she's been infected since 2009. And here it is 2013 and you have it. So he knew he was infected and he intentionally infected you, but you also find out he intentionally infected his wife as well. This man is from the Houston area. You need to share and repost this because the women in that area need to know if they've ever came in contact with him, it's a possibility you might be infected as well. He's currently took a plea deal for 30 years for intentionally infecting women.
Give him the check.
Once again, I want to say he's in the Houston area. Share and repost so that the women in that area can know.
Give him the
Now,
check.
I don't live in Houston or nothing, but I've been seeing this topic about HIV being going crazy out there. Like, it's so bad that somebody that work at a hospital got on TikTok crying about the people that she didn't told that they got HIV. Y'all need to be careful out here, for real. Like, yes, in Texas.
Houston that bad, bro. Damn. That's like the COVID.
But I just think about all the people that live in my city that done went to Houston for a trip. Everybody laying down with everybody and doing what they doing unprotected, not knowing nothing. I don't know. Y'all just need to be careful out here because it's wicked. Y'all thoughts on it though?
I found out I was HIV positive after noticing strange spots on my body and experiencing high fever. It all started after a night out with my friend. I remember drinking way too much, definitely more than I should have. Things spiraled so quickly that I completely lost control of what I was doing. My friend tried to get me home safely, but we got into an argument and she decided to leave. I stayed at the party with some other people and eventually met this girl. She seemed fun, and the last thing I remember was dancing and having a good time. The next morning, I woke up in her bed confused, hungover, and with no clear memory of what had happened. I left quietly before she woke up, telling myself it was nothing serious. I thought that night wouldn't come back to haunt me, but about a month later, I started dropping weight fast. I was constantly running a fever, had pounding headaches, and weird spots started showing up on my skin. That's when I started to panic. Deep down, I had a terrible feeling about what might have happened that night. So I finally went to the hospital, and that's when, comment if you want to hear part 2. I found out I was HIV positive after noticing strange spots on my body and experiencing high fevers. It all
Maybe I'm not educated enough about HIV, AIDS, and AIDS. I don't know. I didn't know, like, that was a thing. Like, as a kid, you familiar with the people getting herpes and having bumps. whatever, or like wards, stuff like that. But this is happening.
All started after a night out with my friend. I remember drinking a lot way. More than I should have. Things got so out of hand that I completely lost control of what I was doing. My friend tried to get me home safely, but we ended up arguing, and she decided to leave. I stayed at the party with some other friends and eventually...
I told you. People just be kissing, and I'm not being racist and not being prejudiced and none of that. But you find it's more prevalent inside the Hispanic community, the Caucasians too. It's rare that black people would go and kiss randoms. They'll have sex with them before. Yeah, they'll do the nasty with them before that.
met this guy. He seemed fun, and the last thing one remember was dancing and having a great time. The next morning, I woke up in his bed, confused and unable to recall most of the night. I left before he woke up, brushing it off, like it was no big deal. I thought that night wouldn't have any consequences, but a month later, I started losing a lot of weight. I was constantly running a fever, had terrible headaches, and noticed strange spots appearing on my skin. That's when panic set in deep down, had a terrible feeling about what might have happened that night. I decided to go to the hospital, and that's when. Comment if you want to hear part 2. I found out I was HIV positive after noticing strange spots on my body and experiencing high fever. It all...
I can't keep watching this.
That's when.
Gourmet for less at Aldi makes you feel extra. It's an Aldi thing.
Why is everyone using Ninja transfers?
Ninja transfers is definitely killing them.
Comment if you want to hear part 2.
Guys, I don't know about you, but it seems like just about everybody that I know is sick right now. I had about 4 or 5 coworkers already this week call out because they were sick. My mom was sick a couple of weeks ago. She had influenza A. My wife was sick in the house. She was dealing with some aches and pains, headaches, body aches, and all the other sort. Everybody, please just take care of yourselves. Hopefully, this all subsides soon. But there is something very troubling going on because it just seems like everybody is catching some illness.
On July 25th of 2025, reports have confirmed that Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. plans to remove every member of the U.S. Preventative Services Task Force, a move that would have devastating consequences for evidence-based medicine and the future of preventative care in this country. So as a clinician, I can tell you this is not just a bureaucratic shuffle. The USPSTF is the reason insurance companies are required to cover life-saving cancer screenings, depression screenings, HIV prevention medications like PrEP, and other essential services at no cost to patients. Their recommendations are based on decades of peer-reviewed research, not politics. Removing the entire panel isn't about reform. It's about silencing science. If you gut this task force, you're gutting the mechanism that ensures patients, especially those in underserved communities, have access to early detection and intervention. You are opening the door for insurance companies to deny coverage for basic screenings, which means more missed cancers, more preventative strokes, more late-stage diagnoses, and more people dying simply because they couldn't afford to catch it early. RFK Jr. has criticized the task force for being too woke because they use inclusive language like pregnant persons and acknowledge structural racism and health outcomes. That's not wokeness. That's reality. And pretending otherwise doesn't change the data. It just puts more people at risk. This isn't about left or right. It's about whether we are going to protect evidence-based guidelines that save lives or replace them with political theater that leaves clinicians powerless and patients abandoned. This will absolutely make my job and other health professionals' jobs much harder. It will make your care worse, and it is a direct threat to public health.
Look, rates for HIV and other STIs are climbing in many southern cities. That means the odds you're playing with aren't imaginary. Testing windows and false negatives are real. So a negative test 2 days after a hookup isn't the same as being in the clear. Here's how not to become a cautionary tale. Get tested regularly, every 3 to 6 months if you're active with multiple partners. Use condoms, always have them. Treat them like deodorant. If you left home without it, you made a mistake. Consider PrEP if you're at ongoing risk because it actually works. Don't accept screenshots as proof. Ask to see a legitimate test and do your own test together. If someone refuses to talk about status, walk. No negotiation. Sexual discipline isn't romantic sounding.
We are in an HIV outbreak in Minnesota. And no.
Seems like it's an outbreak everywhere. People got a lot of time to have grown folk encounters. So I'm gonna wrap this video up with saying nobody is unable to contract anything. We all are in the crossfire of it. So please have protected. And yes, I am a lesbianess, but I still can get STDs, STIs, whatever you want to call it. This is crazy. I'll catch y'all on the next one. I'm out.